Afternoon, track gang. It happens to be Monday, the 20th of June, 2022. This is episode 25. And as I'm sure some of you saw, I made a post on, I actually made a post on Patreon, and I made a post on my community page on YouTube that I had test fitted Union Station and actually test placed Union Station, and I'm doing something a little bit different this time around too with the camera set up. The camera is actually here and the ring light is over there. Messing around with the lighting a little bit to see if we can get things somewhat straightened out here. So what I'm going to work on right now is doing some of the touch-up work, but I also want to work on getting the that interior floor put in on the two side pieces. I did put the base, it's all about the base. I did put the base on Union Station itself, the main building, and on the annexes, or the two side pieces, or whatever you want to call them. So that's together now. So now it's going to be putting in that floor and doing some touch-up work, and we'll see what happens as we move forward. So stick around. We'll be back. Here is a trick that you may not have seen, or that you may have seen, and maybe I don't know. But when you're dealing with styrene, depending on the thickness, you can actually use a pair of scissors to cut the plastic down the size, which is exactly what I'm doing. I took a measurement. It's it's actually 5 inches for the interior of the building, or the where I want to put this second floor per se. And I'm trying to be as accurate as I can with this cut, because I actually need the other side of this for the other annex, or the other side of the building. So I'm trying to keep this as straight as possible, which is the reason why I decided to try a pair of scissors to cut it instead of a knife, even though I've got the X-Acto blades and so on and so forth now. But there you go. So there is the floor cut. Now we will see if it fits in the building the way I want it to. And it's so nice because actually Walthers left a indentation here where this architectural detail is on the outside of the building. And well, there we go. Now, it's not going to stay this full piece. I only did this to see if it would fit. My plan now is I want to, I'm going to leave a bit across the front, or across the side here, underneath the big window. Let's try it this way. I'm going to probably come up to where this indentation is, where this big window sits. And I'm going to basically turn this into a U shape. The reason for that is because of the fact that when you actually put the roof pieces on, you've got these wonderful skylights. So to make use of the skylights, it would be nice if that was open. So the way I'm looking at this is, and I don't know how accurate it is, and to be honest, it's really kind of irrelevant to me because it's my building, it's on my railroad. But my thought process here is that there would be shops on either side of this building. So in other words, the main portion of this is going to be wide open. But on these sides, there'll be like little shops in the alcoves or offices or something of that nature. So that's the whole premise behind doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and make the cut, or go ahead and make some measurements and make some cuts, and I'll show you what I got when I'm done. That's what I'm talking about. I like it. I may have to do a little bit of trimming on this one end, it looks like, or it's either that or it just isn't sitting in here straight, which wouldn't be surprising. There it goes. There we go, now it's in there. But that's what I was looking for. So now what I can do is I can actually take this piece and I can actually make baffles in there if I want to, which I may end up doing, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was exactly, that's a case of the exactlies. Exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. On to the next. I was trying to see if I could get a halfway decent angle at this, and I think I got it. But now you get the idea. Sort of, at least, somewhat of the idea. If I bring this in, of course I think, I forgot, I don't know if I can actually do it this way. Well, no, I should be able to get the roof. I should be able to get the roof on here without collapsing the building. There we go. There we go. So now you kind of get the idea. You know, you've got it's two stories in there. I'm not going to do that to the main part of the building because I want that to stay wide open. One reason is because of the fact that that part, or that roof, has got those. So, you know, this roof section, there we go. You know, like that. So that's where we're at. I'm going to continue to move on. Okay, well, there's one side. It's functional. It may not look like much, and I'm not worried about closing off down inside of here. Namely, the only thing I was really looking to do here was just have this upper level and kind of block it off a little bit. I may end up going back later on and actually putting something inside, but I can still get to that. I couldn't get to these end pieces once the building is put together. So the end pieces are on there, the second floor is there, so there's one side done. I've got the second side sitting over here. So I'm going to work on that one next, and we'll be back. You know how they say that every once in a while a blind squirrel finds a nut? Well, you all found me, so I don't know if you're blind squirrels, but hey, I'm not sure how well that is going to show up on camera, but that is awesome. I was trying to come up with something that looked like wood, because I wanted this to look like a wood floor. I'm not quite sure how I managed to get that effect. I'm hoping I can duplicate it again, because I gotta still do the other piece. Let me see if I can actually show you what I was doing. I took some burnt umber, because that's the brown that I've got, the Logitech Basics burnt umber, and titanium white. Now, when I first mixed this, I did a 2-to-1. 2 burnt umber, one drop of the titanium white, and it was way too white. So I just kept adding burnt umber, adding burnt umber, adding burnt umber, and then I came up with the color that's in the palette. Now, all I did was very lightly just start dragging the brush down this piece of plastic, trying not to stop or start before the end, or start too early or stop too early. And I can tell that the brush is actually starting to get a little too dry. So let's dip it in a little bit of water and let's try that again. Now the brush is a little too wet, but that's okay. That's fine. Because what I did the first time around is I actually got it a little too, I got the plastic a little too wet and then came back and actually just put more paint on the brush and just kind of went back over it again. So let's see what we can, no, that was too, I pulled the brush on there a little too hard. The object here is to be very light with the brush stroke, I guess, and then making sure that you've got the right consistency with the paint as you're dragging it down the plastic here. Granted, some folks would be like, well, you should have probably primed it first. Well, yeah, maybe. But to be perfectly honest, the effect that I got out of this was completely unexpected. I wasn't trying to, I was trying to come up with a wood color. I wasn't exactly trying to make it look like wood. If that made any sense at all. You know, I was kind of hoping maybe it would come up, you know, almost like stained or something like that, you know, that kind of thing. But this effect, and of course it's going to be inside the building where nobody can see it. Well, actually, I take that back. It is going to be on the inside of the building, but with as big as these windows are, you'll be able to see it. Now it's come up a little, I'm kind of a little too light in areas and a little too dark in areas here. So let's see if we can darken this up just a little bit. Now I'm sure that somebody has done this before. But like I said, this is the first time that I've tried it, and like I said, the effect was completely unexpected. I wasn't expecting to do that, and I just wiped the paint off of there, and that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Now I got a little too heavy. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There we go. I have no idea. Well, son of a gun. That is going to look awesome when you look through the windows of this thing. That's all I've got to say to that. We'll be back. Alright, Track Gang, I was hoping to have actually gotten a little bit further than what I did with this this week. Unfortunately, I know I'm a day behind now for getting a video out, and that is because I actually got stuck at work Thursday night on an outage, so it is what it is, but I really didn't get a chance to mess with this too much last night. Haven't had a chance to really mess with it too much tonight, but I want to get this video out, so we're going to go ahead and just roll with it. So it is what it is. I've gone through and I've done some touch-up, but one of the things that I'm noticing, even as I'm touching this thing up, I'm creating other problems. So it's like, you know, how much longer do I want to mess with this thing before I just go ahead and put it together? So I think that's what's going to happen this week. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start putting it together, fix some of the problems that it's got from handling it, from painting it. One of the walls, unfortunately, started to come loose on me. I got to go back and I'm gonna super glue it, and we'll see if that works a little bit better. But it is what it is. So don't forget, Sidetrack Sunday this week is going to be on Rick Bailey's channel, the Fultz Bailey Model Railroad. So You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. We will see ya.